What's up, guys? So before I get started, just want to go ahead and apologize in the future for two things. One, if I get distracted looking this way, it's because I've got the Packers Cardinals on. I don't really care about the result, or I don't really care who wins, but I do want to see who it is. And I also apologize if I yawn a lot. Um, Not only was this game very boring in the first half, but also I'm just tired. I don't sleep enough. But anyway, Chelsea versus Everton. Yeah, you're going to have three people in this situation. The optimists are going to look at it, well, we saved a point. Pessimists are going to look at it, we dropped 2 points. We should win against Everton at home. Realists, like myself, are going to look at it and say, yeah, we saved a point, but that's embarrassing that that's what it come down to at this point. That we actually have to, against West Brom, we're holding on to a point. Against Everton, we're saving a point. Why? Why is that how it is now? Like, why can we not take what we learned against Sunderland, against Crystal Palace, when we dominated those games? We dominated against Sunderland. Then the next week, we go at home against Watford. A meh performance and a tie at home. The next game, at Man U, who looked terrible on the day, we looked just as bad, and we ended up with another point, another meh performance. The week after that, Crystal Palace away, I'm thinking, oh crap, we've been playing terribly. Crystal Palace is doing pretty well. We win 3-0 and we play amazing. I'm like, yes, this is what we've been wanting. This is what we've been asking for. And then Scunthorpe, a meh performance. Barely get away with a 2-0 win. Almost gave up a goal, a penalty, to make it 1-1, and we barely eke out with a 2-0 win. Against West Brom, looked good at times in the attack, but still gave up 2 goals, 2 easy goals. And I think this game is, I hope this is the proof that I've been looking for. Because everybody's talking about, big names we've been linked with: Alex Teixeira, Paul Pogba, what was the other, like another winger, striker or something. They're linked with all these midfielders and strikers. We need defenders. We need some freaking defenders. Because I'm going to talk about this because this is the number one issue surrounding it all. This is not just exclusive to this game. This is the whole season. Ivanovic has been terrible. Azpilicueta has been okay, but he's been dropping off recently, and Baba's not ready. So, fullbacks, those are our three fullbacks. We got one underperforming, one that's been performing well until recently, and one that we bought because we heard he was good, and he hasn't even been playing, so he had no way to get used to the physical nature of the Premier League. Those are our three fullbacks. And we wonder why we're leaking goals. We've got three center backs. We've got one, Cahill, who every time he's out there he's making mistakes. Zuma, who does well but still makes mistakes. And then you've got Terry, who is a great defender, but he's old. He's not able to go the whole game anymore. Throughout this whole game, he's the only one that's working the whole time, not making mistakes. And that says something. When the one player who's not able to go the whole game is the only defender that's doing the work, there's a problem. There's a serious problem. And that's frustrating. But I hope maybe this is a sign that we need to get a center back, we need to get a fullback. We need to get a center back that is solid defensively. And I know people are going to bring up, we have that Gilobaji guy. Come on. They just bought him for a backup in case we got injuries. That's the only reason he was brought into the team. We need somebody that's going to come in with the physical stature of Zuma, the ability to do the job physically, but also somebody that's able to do the defensive part of the job too. We need somebody on right back. Either slide Azpilicueta over and get in a good left back, or bring in a good right back, because Ivanovic is terrible. Like, he came back from injury and had the one good game against Crystal Palace. That's been it. I mean, the rest of the games, he's been terrible. Today, God, he got caught out of position so many times. I wanted to smack him upside his head. It's just that the third goal, the worst defending I have seen this season, and that is saying a lot because we've been very poor defensively. But to watch as Zuma and Ivanovic both just stand as Funes Mori and Lukaku are both breaking into the back post, I'm like, really? Do you guys? And you see Terry guarding his man on the front post, so the ball isn't even on his side of the goal, but he's still there just in case it happens to come back across, because that's the type of defender you want. And the sad part is, he's exactly the defender we want, but he's 36 years old. He can't do this the whole game, and he gets beat on pace. That's why Zuma's in there, but who's working with Zuma to make sure that he's still doing his job right? That he's not leaving the man like he did in that instance. And so, that's just the biggest problem that we have right now is the transfer market's open. They have to bring in a fullback and a center back. We have to get them in. We have to strengthen our defense because we can't keep leaking goals. We've already proven striking is not an issue. Costa's doing well again. Fabregas is doing well again. Willian has always been doing well. We need somebody to come in defense and stop us getting scored on. I mean, the only clean sheet we've kept. No, okay, we kept 2 clean sheets: Crystal Palace and Man U. That's it. And Man U, I mean, it's Man U. They hardly score. You know, like this weekend against Newcastle, it's the first time they scored more than one goal in a game in a long time. So to keep a clean sheet against them is nothing. Keep a clean sheet against Crystal Palace. They didn't exactly have all the striking options, so not that hard. We need to strengthen the defense. That's the whole point of what I'm trying to say right now. So anyway, that's my first gripe. I have a lot of gripes. I'm trying to remember them all. Second gripe: Gus Hiddink's choices at the beginning of the game. Several mistakes. One, you start with pretty much the same lineup that we had midweek. So, played on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, today. There are 2 days of rest in there. And that was, I mean, we not exactly played well, but we still played hard for the most part. I mean, one change. Oscar comes off, Matic comes on. So, I'm watching so many dead legs, and I'm like, why do we not make more changes? We've got Ramirez, Loftus-Cheek, Baba, Remy. We've got all of these players that we can put on the field. And, okay, Baba, Remy, We got Ramirez and Loftus-Cheek. Why not use them? Kennedy, he came on as a sub. Why not use him? No, let's just play it safe. We're just going to put in the first team. I don't want to offend anybody. I don't want to take away playing time from anybody. So, here you go. First team. We'll take Oscar out, put Matic on. We'll play it safe. That's killing us right now. That is the main problem that I'm having with Gus Hiddink, is he's playing it safe. He's not going for the win, and we need to win. I keep hearing, Gus Hiddink's still claiming that top 4 is possible. Not like this. We can't draw and expect to end up in the top 4. We should have started winning at Watford. After Sunderland, it should have been win at home against Watford, win away at Man U, win against Crystal Palace, win against West Brom, win against Everton. We should be winning. I'm going to look it up right now because I'm proving my point. And I'm frustrated and I'm tired, so this is why I'm proving my point. If you look at where we are in the standings, we are in 14th place, 1 point above AFC Bournemouth, who's below us. Okay, 2 points dropped at home against Watford. 2 points dropped away at Man U. 2 points dropped at home against West Brom. 2 points dropped against Everton. That is 8 points dropped. If we had gotten those 8 points, we would have 33 points. We would be in 7th place above Stoke City, 1 point. And 1 point behind Man U in 6th. We could be in 7th place right now if we had stopped going for the draw, if we had actually, if Gus had decided, you know what, I'm going to make some changes. I'm going to come in, I'm going to make some changes. We're going to switch some things up around here. We're going to get some players in that haven't been getting a lot of playing time. And we're going to go for a win. We're going to go out there and we're going to try to win these games because we need to start winning. We could be in 7th place right now. But no. We've played it safe, and the only teams that we beat are the teams that played it safe against us, Sunderland and Crystal Palace. Both of those teams played it safe, didn't really go at us, and they suffered for it. You look at the teams that went at us, Watford scored 2 against us, West Brom scored 2 against us, Everton scored 2 against us. Those 3 teams, Everton scored 3, those 3 teams went at us, really took the game to us, and we're leaking goals because our defense is sloppy. That's a problem. We should be taking the game to them, but we're not. And that is frustrating. Second problem I have with the lineup, Fabregas is not a center attacking mid. I know they've tried to play him there before. He does not play short game well at all. Oscar does, Willian does, Hazard does, Pedro, Fabregas is on there for the long ball. That's what he did so well last year. That's what he started to do well this year in the past few games. That long ball, that's what we want. That's what he did. That's what we need from him. And then you're going to put him up there where he can't do it anymore. And the only reason that we even got back into the game is because brought on Oscar, took off Matic, Fabregas back in his spot, sending the ball in. And that's how we got back in the game. That's how it works. And then Costa goes off injured. Well, there goes that connection. So Everton take their chances. Now they're back in it again. And it takes a lucky non-offsides call for us to even score the equalizer. So from the beginning, there are issues. There are issues in not making enough changes. So you've got dead legs, putting Fabregas out of position, and just overall, some of the players that are underperforming, I'm still seeing out there. Ivanovic, poor in the last game. I still see him out there. Matic came on, didn't do too well. I still see him out there. Pedro, awful last game. Awful this game. Why is he still out there? I'm trying to figure out why some of these managers keep putting out underperforming players. Mourinho did it the whole time. That's why he's gone. You know, he kept putting out Fabregas and Costa and Hazard and Matic, all the players, and Ivanovic especially, all the players that were playing so poorly, kept putting them out there. They kept losing games. Gus comes in, their players underperforming, don't want to rock the apple cart. Play it safe. Keep playing them. And we're not losing, but we're not winning either. That's an issue. Yeah, we're not losing, but so what? I want to win. It's one thing to tie, it's another thing entirely to win a game. That's 2 more points. Like I said, we'd be in 7th place right now if we'd actually gone out to win a game. That's frustrating. And I really, really, really hope that Gus decides to start making some changes. Because you can just tell by the lineups that he's putting out there, he's scared. He is scared to do anything too much. He doesn't want to upset too many players. I don't care who's upset or not. And neither should he. His job is to come in and win games. That's why we brought him there. That's what he's getting paid for. Same as the players. And I know I talked about Mourinho and how frustrated I was with some of his decisions, some of the stuff he was doing off the field. I was frustrated with all that. But I never really talked about how frustrated I am with the players. The fact that they're paid to go out there and play. And so for them to go out there and not play as hard as they can, that's frustrating to see. And I even said when I talked about Mourinho sacking, yeah, he had a lot to do with it. But the players are at fault too. Even I agreed with that. And it's still frustrating to see that they're not going out there and doing their job, and Gus is not coming in and doing his job. His job is to come in, get them going again. And you know what? Yeah, some players are playing better, but so what if we're not winning games? Like that, it's just so frustrating now to watch them. because they just lack that attacking sense. Like whenever Everton had the ball, let's just sit back. Let's just absorb the pressure. Everton will take that all day. They just attack, attack, attack. They love to attack. Other teams love to attack. Chelsea is one of the few teams in this league that just feel like they are scared to go attack the other team. And whenever they do, it's not even a fast attack. It's like pass around the top of the box, do a little move, and we lost the ball. And we're done. The attack's done. That's all it is now. And it takes Everton going up 2-0 on them for them to even show any passion to get back in the game. That's frustrating. It should be passion from the minute the whistle blows. And if you're tired, okay, rest, but still put forth some effort. Not just walking around almost 3/4 of the game. I can't stand. I'm about almost. I shouldn't say almost all the way. I mean, it is way beyond my limit for how many times I've seen them stand around. It is so frustrating to watch them stand and walk around the field. If you take the game, if you do what I do, you take the game at home, you have to watch it because you're not living over in England. Just go watch it. Just watch it play. Count how many people are standing and walking around the field, or on a little job. Not booking it, not putting forth effort. It's too many to count. Like, you will lose count, I guarantee it, because there's a lack of passion. And that's the main problem we have. There's no passion in it. There's no fight, desire to push forward, put forth that little bit more effort to go and score a goal. There's just a lack of it. And it's frustrating to watch. It is so frustrating to tune in to see my favorite team just to watch them walk around the field for the most part. So, that's pretty much all I have to say about this game, because the details don't even really matter at this point. Because I could talk about, but honestly, you could go back and watch the West Brom review that I did. It's pretty much the same issues I had with the game against West Brom. It's the same stuff. And to see the one of the biggest flaws Mourinho was having, even last year in the title-winning season, there were issues that were constant issues, game after game, that were not getting fixed. This year, there were bigger issues, and those issues were still not getting fixed. But because there were bigger issues, we ended up farther down the table. Same thing. Issues at West Brom that I'm watching, I'm like, okay, gotta fix that for the next game. And they don't get fixed. And there's still the same issues there. And that's... I've said it so many times, I'm probably going to say it 100 times more. That's frustrating. And I guess the best thing that I can say right now is that somebody needs to say something. I don't know who it is. I don't know whether there are people that maybe will watch this video. Maybe they'll know somebody involved with the club. But somebody needs to go talk to somebody and say, look, there are issues. There are very clear issues. Show them the tape. Show them what they're doing wrong. And get them to fix it. And if they're not going to fix it, start cutting their wages. Start penalizing them somehow. Because if I don't know what they're doing right now, but whatever they're doing, it's not enough to motivate these players to go on and play harder. It's not enough to get them to go on and win the game, to push that little bit more to go win the game. They don't have that. There's such a lack of effort in that final push that they're not going to go win games. They're not going to win. I mean, they've got Arsenal next week. Arsenal's going to crush them if they put forward the kind of effort that they did today and midweek. Overtime. Packers, Cardinals. So, I mean, that's pretty much all I want to say. Just pretty much everything that I talked about midweek. Same issues here. The difference is Everton's a better team than West Brom, so they were putting forth a lot more effort than West Brom did, and had a lot more attacking intent. And still doesn't excuse the lack of defense on the first goal, second goal, especially the third goal. There's just a lack of defensive effort. Not just the defense either. Mikel and Madish were nowhere to be found on half of those, on most of those attempts at goal. Um, so I could talk for another 5, 10. I could talk for another hour about how frustrated I am and everything that's wrong. But the truth is, if you watch the game, you know exactly what the issue is. Let's just hope maybe it changes at some point, but not get my hopes too high because Gus hasn't done anything to prove it. So, yeah. I don't know. I'm tired. I want to go to bed. So that's how I feel now after watching a Chelsea game. I'm tired. I'm going to go to bed. So I'll see you guys. I'll see you guys in the next game. Peace out.